Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a look reusing some of my Colourpop favorites, like some of my current favorites or the things that I am the most excited about right now as far as Colourpop goes. Several months back I did a full face using my Colourpop favorites. I will have that link down below if you guys want to know what my ride or die Colourpop products are, because they are pretty much the same. I really do still absolutely love so many of those products, but I wanted to kind of do a little bit of a fun video that's Colourpop focused, which I'm excited about because I actually wanted to do another look using the Colourpop Garden Variety palette, which is one of their newer palettes. When I did a look with this, I did it more neutral, and so I want to play with like the pinks and purples in this palette today. So that should be fun. Also, something else that's exciting is my coupon code with Colourpop is back. You can just use the code Allie at checkout. It was turned off for a while there, but now it's back, so I just wanted to let you guys know. So if you're interested in trying any of these products that I talk about today, you can go ahead and use that code. It is an affiliate code, just so you know, but this video is not sponsored by Colourpop at all. So yeah, let's just get right into it. I think I'm gonna do my eyes first actually today, which means I'm gonna need to do my brows. I forgot to do my brows off camera. I'm gonna use the Carla Beauty Cosmetics brow pencil and just quickly fill in my brows. I also wanted to do this video because I feel like we all know how frequently Colourpop launches new collections and things, and I just kind of felt like reusing some of the things that I'm already interested in because it just gives me a chance to enjoy what I already have, especially with Colourpop, since there's always something new and fun that's launching. So yeah, I'm excited about today's video. Okay, the brows are filled in. Let's go ahead and use my NARS Tinted Smudge Proof eyeshadow base. I have glitter all over my eyes. I've been doing so many looks with glitter recently, which I love, but I've been doing them like kind of in a row, and it has created like permanent glitter fallout on my face, but I'm not mad at it. I love a good glittery eye look, and I'm actually gonna do another sparkly look today, so that'll be fun. I'm looking for my brush that I used to blend this out, and I can't find it. All right, we'll just use a different brush. All right, so let's dip into the Colourpop Garden Variety palette. I really enjoyed this palette when I tried it. I wanted to reuse it, so I'm gonna start off with the peach shade in the palette, this one right here called Prickly Please. This works great as a transition shade, so that is what we're gonna use it for. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this into the crease and then a little bit above as my transition shade. Okay, so yeah, I do want to do something with the pinks and purples, so I'm thinking maybe I'll start with this. I'm gonna go into the shade Clay Day. It's like a mauve color, and it kind of has a little bit of shimmer in it, but usually this type of formula acts more as a matte. It has a little bit of shimmer in it, but I prefer to kind of use them as mattes versus focal points on the lid. So I'm just going to take this shade and start creating a little bit of definition on the outer portion of the lid. That's a really pretty color. Yeah, you can definitely see the glitter reflex, but the base of it blends out like a matte shadow would. And I'm not too worried about the edges right here because I will just clean them up in a minute. All right, I want to dip into this shade right here called Smudge Off, and I'm going to take that with my finger and I'm going to start to apply that to the center of the lid. Ooh, I really like that color. I'm gonna do the same thing to this eye. I mean, this shade would be really nice just all over the lid on its own with a little bit of mascara. That would be so pretty. I really like that one. Okay, I'm gonna take the lighter purple shimmer shade in the palette called Synergy. I read that wrong, but I'm just gonna take this on a brush and I'm gonna start working this on the inner portion of the lid. This looks lighter in the pan than how it translates on the eyelid. I probably could have used this as the inner corner highlight, and maybe I still will. But I'm just using this shade to create a little bit of definition on this inner third, and then I'm blending it over top of that existing purple shade. All right, I'm gonna deepen things up a little bit with the matte purple in the palette called Stuck on You right here. And I'm just going to start to apply that up against the lash line on this outer third. And then once there's less on the brush, I'm just going to take that and kind of define this outer third a little bit more. I'm just going to take a soft brush and I'm going to go back into the Prickly Pear shade. I feel like I do this a lot where I will kind of almost complete an eye look and then I'll realize I can buff the transition shade a little bit higher than where it is currently. So I'm just going to take a tiny bit more of that peach shade and blend things up toward the brow even more. All right, and now for the best part. I am so in love with this. I talked about it in my last favorites video. Here's the lid. This is one of the Jelly Much eyeshadows that launched with the Garden Variety collection, and this is in the shade Sage Bundle. It is so beautiful. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit of this on my finger, and I'm gonna kind of spread it out between both of my ring fingers, and then I'm going to apply this on the inner portion of the lid, right on top of where we applied that lighter purple shade. But this has the coolest like greenish blue reflect. I'm so in love with this color. So I'm just going to continue to build this up and kind of press it into the lid. Again, I'm trying to keep most of the pigment on this inner portion, and then as it moves out across the lid, I use less pressure, and there's less product on the finger too, so it kind of fades by itself. Ooh, yes, that's so pretty. I love it. Okay, I'm really happy with how the top lid looks. I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to take a makeup wipe and make sure that that Jelly Mutt shadow is off of my fingers so that it doesn't transfer while I'm doing complexion. And I'm going to go ahead and take that same wipe and just remove any fallout and clean up the edges on this outer portion of the eye. Wow, this color layered on top of purple looks so cool, and I almost feel like the camera doesn't do it justice. I really love how that looks. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do top lash mascara. I'm actually going to use the M Cosmetics Pick Me Up mascara. This is something that I recently tried and I love. So I'm wanting to do this before moving on to complexion just because I used a glittery shadow. And I just want to make sure that there's as little fallout as possible while I'm doing my complexion. So I'm just applying this to the top lashes only right now. Wow, I definitely got quite a few mascara marks on the eyelid, but that's all right. We'll let it dry and then I'll wipe it off. I'm going to hop into primer. I'm wanting to use the Thrive Cosmetics Brilliant Face Brightener Illuminating Primer. This is also another product that I recently tried that I'm really into. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that and apply it with my fingers. I love how this smells. And then next, I'm going to be using probably what's my new absolute favorite thing that Colourpop has recently launched, and that is the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. You guys probably already know how much I love the tinted moisturizer, and I still love that. The tinted moisturizer is a little more hydrating and a little more sheer because it's a tinted moisturizer. This obviously has a little bit more of a full coverage finish, but it lasts so well on the skin. I'm so impressed by this. I'm going to go ahead and mix 2 shades, but I will have my perfect match linked down below. They sent me these 2 full bottle shades, and then they sent me like little samples of other shades in their range, but I found that when I mix these 2, it gives me a pretty close to perfect match. So I just mixed 2 shades, but again, I will have my perfect shade match down below. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this all over the skin. As you can see immediately, it gives such great coverage. But yeah, the thing I'm the most impressed by with this foundation is how incredibly well it wears on my skin. Like honestly, it wears just as good as, if not better than, some of my high-end favorite foundations. It's so good. Okay, so once the foundation is pretty evenly distributed, I'm going to take what's left on the back of my hand with my sponge, and I'm going to use my sponge to press the foundation even more into the skin, and this will also help to pick up any excess product. I have a feeling this might be one of my go-to foundations for fall and winter as well, just because it is so hydrating, which I love. I'm so excited to do fall makeup looks, and I'm going to be planning a lot of fall videos soon, so I would love to know. Actually, leave a comment down below if there's any specific videos you would like to see. I know usually I do videos like an easy everyday fall makeup look. I also love to recommend like fall lipsticks because for some reason in fall I just feel like it's so much more appropriate to wear and almost like acceptable to wear deeper tones when it comes to lipsticks. And so let me know if you guys would be interested in anything like that, or if you have any other ideas. I'm so open to all of your suggestions, so be sure to leave a comment about that. All right, we're gonna move on to concealer. This is another thing that I have been pleasantly surprised with from Colourpop. This is the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer. I'm gonna use the shade Fair 20N, and I don't like to use too much of this. I notice that if I overdo it, it tends to crease underneath my eye area, so I like to apply it a little bit lower, and I find that that helps so much. This is definitely more of like an everyday type of concealer for me. If I am needing my concealer to like be super resilient, I opt for other concealers, but this is great for just like a nice brightened under eye area. It's going to be hydrating, which I really love, and this is my favorite concealer from Colourpop, so I knew I wanted to use it in this video. It kind of gives like a nice smoothing effect too, which is really, really pretty. All right, I'm going to go ahead and set the face. I'm just going to use my Ciate Everyday Vacay Coconut Powder. This is another product that I recently tried that I wanted to reuse in this video. I just loved how smooth and lightweight this felt on the skin, so I wanted to try it over top of this foundation and concealer and see how I liked it. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and set the face really quick, and then we'll move on to the eyes again. I want to finish up the eye look and then we'll finish complexion after that. Well, something I learned pretty quickly about that mascara is it does not buff off as easily as some of my other mascaras. So I tried to buff it off, but it really didn't work that well. So next time I use it, I'm going to be way more cautious with how I'm applying it. All right, let's go back and do the under eye area with the same palette. I'm gonna go into Prickly Please again, just to start creating a little bit of a base. Next, I'm gonna take a small brush and dip into the matte purple called Stuck on You. Whoa, I'm dropping things today. And I'm just gonna start to kind of create a little bit of definition on that lower lash line on just the outer third, right up against the lashes. And then I'm gonna take the lighter purple shade called Synergy on the same brush, and I'm going to spray this with a little bit of setting spray. I'm going to apply this shade right up against the lash line on that inner third. Oh, well, I guess more like the inner half of the eye on that lower lash line. I'm gonna kind of use what's left as my inner corner highlight too, just a little bit. And I think that's all I want to do on the lower lash line. I'm gonna take a little bit of the champagne shade called Wavelength on a small brush, and I'm wanting to use this to kind of brighten up the inner corner even more. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and apply the same M Cosmetics mascara to the lower lashes, being careful not to get too much around the eyes. Okay, I accidentally got a little bit on the lower lash line, but that's okay. I'm gonna wipe off any foundation that got on the lips. All right, let's go ahead and warm up the complexion with my favorite Colourpop bronzer. This is the Colourpop Coconut Beach Pressed Powder Bronzer. I'm just gonna go ahead and use this with a fluffy brush just to warm up the complexion. Okay, and then once the skin is nice and warmed up with that bronzer, let's go ahead and do blush next. I love this blush. This is the pressed powder blush in the shade Night Bloom, and it's a really, really cool color. It's like this lilac. I really love it. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a blush brush and just smile and apply this to the apples of the cheeks. I think it's such a unique blush shade. I love it. And you could also use this to like layer on top of your other blush shades if you want just a pop of brightness on the center of the cheeks. It would work really well for that as well. But I especially feel like if you're somebody who wears a lot of purple or mauve or lilac tones on the eyes, this is a great blush to kind of pair all the colors together. It looks really, really nice. All right, for highlighter, I wanted to use this Super Shock highlighter. Again, it's from Colourpop. This was from their tie-dye collection, and this is the lighter of the two shades. I'll have it linked down below. On their website, the shade Manifest That is the pink shade. This one's the more champagne shade, but the name on the back of this one got mixed up. So this is Manifest That and it's the gold, but on the website it's the pink. So I'll have the right one linked down below. But I'm just taking my sponge and dipping directly into this pan, and I'm just going to press this onto the high points of the face. Now this one is definitely more of a glittery highlighter. It has more visible glitter pigments in it than the shade Lunch Money, for example, but I love it. Like, I still think it's so beautiful and so wearable, and it's not like super chunky glitter, but it is visible, and normally I am not into that kind of thing, but for some reason as I wear this throughout the day, it always looks so nice. So yeah, we're just gonna wear this one today. I love the Super Shock formula when it comes to highlighters though. It just melts into the skin and looks so pretty. All right, for lipstick, I wanted to use the Colourpop Lippy Stick in the shade Aquarius. I felt like this would be a really nice base for the gloss that I wanna use. I think it matches the whole vibe so well too. I'm just using my finger to make sure that's blended in. Okay, and another new product from Colourpop that I've been obsessed with is definitely these Luxe lip oils. I can't get enough of the shade Skinny Dip specifically. It's this one right here. This has been living in my purse and I love it. So I'm gonna layer this on top of that lipstick for just a little bit of shine, but it's not sticky like a gloss. It feels almost like a balm. I love it. It's so, so good. All right, so in my last Colourpop favorites video that I did, I mentioned this right here, the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist. I will still have that link down below because I'm obsessed with it, but I wanted to mention this right here, which is 43 Beauty's Glisten Up Mist. 43 Beauty is Colourpop's sister brand, and this is an incredible mist. So I'm gonna set my face with that today. First, let's assess the situation and add a little more bronzer, as usual. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and spray the outside of the face with the Glisten Up Mist. Woo! It smells really good too. It smells like oranges. I'm gonna let that kind of dry. And once it's almost dry, you guys know this is how I like to finish up any makeup look. I always go over everything really, really lightly with the same sponge I was using just to make sure it all melts down into the skin perfectly. And then last but not least, I'm going to use my Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter to lock in the brows. All right, you guys, so this is the final look using so many of my current Colourpop favorites. I love how this look turned out. This is definitely me. You guys know how much I love a good pink and purple kind of a look. And the purple underneath that Jelly Much shadow is my favorite thing ever. It looks so cool in person. It's kind of picking up on camera, but just know that it looks even better in person layered on top. I just love it so much. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you guys want to see my past video using Colourpop favorites, I'll have it linked down below. In that video, I did more of like a warm toned glitter smoky eye with the California Love palette, which is one of my very favorites. So I'll have it linked down below and you guys can check it out if you're interested. But yeah, I'm so happy with how this turned out. I feel like the foundation especially is one of my new favorite finds from Colourpop. So I would love to know what you guys think of that foundation if you've tried it yet. So be sure to leave a comment down below. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, click on the bell after you subscribe and you'll get a notification every single time I post. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I know I always ask you to comment a lot of things, but I would love to know what your current favorite Colourpop product is in the comments down below, so be sure to do that. And yeah, I hope you have a great day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye!